Hello and welcome to or back to my channel. Today we are going to look at some of Elliott Hulse's TikToks about women. A while back I saw someone do a reaction video on his TikToks and I thought it would be fun to have a look for myself, and yeah, it was a journey. To the Elliott fans who might somehow find their way to this video, I want to give you a trigger warning because I am not going to agree with him, and I may say some things that you find upsetting. So yes, that is your trigger warning. That being said, let's dive into the video.
Projecting yourself like a giant penis into the world as a woman.
What?
Projecting yourself like a giant penis into the world as a woman.
Okay, I was not mishearing. How is leaving your home projecting? How is it projecting like a penis? Why would someone say this ever? I have so many questions, and I mean, it did catch my attention and gave me a few giggles, so I guess there's that, but what a really weird thing to say. Also, does that mean it's only normal for penis havers to leave the home?
Pales in comparison to doing great work in the home, in the frame that a man creates for you.
I really love it when men really try to sell women on how great being at home is. Dude, if women loved being at home, they would already be there. But it's just so funny to me when they try so hard to sell the "you will find true happiness at home" in the frame a man provides for you. Which is weird, but they mean like the frame of a house? Because most men don't build their own houses. I mean, some can. My dad did, but that was also his job back in the day, so it's not really a surprise that he built his own house. Most men, however, don't have that ability, or desire for that matter. Building a house kind of sucks and takes a long time. So yeah, I just find this really funny.
So that you can mentor to teach and guide children to be everything that you want to see in the world.
So does anyone remember the Thornbirds? I read that a long time ago, found the book at my grandma's house, and it was very interesting. In it, a woman has 6, 7 sons and one daughter, who I believe was the youngest. Her name was Maggie, and her mother doesn't really take much interest in her because she knows Maggie's fate will be to grow up, get married, and have kids, just like her mother did. And she finds her sons more interesting because there's no telling what they'll do with their lives. They get to go out in the world and, be who they'll be. And just something about what he's saying here reminds me of that. Because essentially, I mean, if it's a woman's job to be at home teaching the kids, then, well, if she has daughters, she would also be teaching them to grow up, get married, and have kids just like her. And that just seems so weird to me. Like with the Duggars and the Bates, how they, they all have so many kids, but they're all given such narrow, strict guidelines to define their lives that you never really get a chance to see like what the kid will do on their own. Which is very true because none of them actually really left the area they grew up in except one, and that was because she was married. So that just seems so disappointing and like a waste of a life to me, to live your life based on definitions that someone else has given to you, that you must live this way to be right with God, to be happy. And then of course, when you're told that growing up, you wonder if you get to that point and you're not happy, even though you're doing everything you've been told you have to do to be happy and get into heaven, which he isn't talking about. But there's a lot of interlap between women stay at home, between guys like Elliott here and religious folk. So yeah, I'm going to talk about both because it's my channel and I get to do that. Anyway, and then you start wondering what's wrong with you that, you're a woman. You should be happy to be at home having kids, but you're not. So what is wrong with you? You're always asking what's wrong with me instead of thinking that maybe what you've been told is wrong, not you. And it just seems really sad to me.
I'm the CEO and she is the COO. So I decide the direction, I decide the big plan, but she helps me execute, right? Why would a woman want anything else?
Well, I mean, yeah, because all women are the same, right? Would it break his brain to know that some women have their own plans?
Do they want to go and pay taxes and work for some other man?
So I guess he's not aware that women can be managers, and sometimes they even own the businesses that employ staff.
Do they want to compete in the marketplace? What do you want to do? You want to save the world?
Well, Elliot, I'm here to inform you that all women have different desires and plans. Some want to save the world, some want to be stay-at-home wives and mothers, some want to travel the world and never get married, some want to be entrepreneurs and open their own businesses. There is no one answer for all women.
You know how you save the world as a woman?
Incorrect.
Bearing and caring for, raising really good children.
Would he be surprised to know that women simultaneously raise kids and work at the same time? Millions do it every day. First, I want to say he could use a history lesson. And second, so setting aside the fact that not all women want kids, what if a woman simply can't have kids? Does that make her unmarriageable? Does that mean she's free to go out in the world like a penis and make her own way?
How could you be with only one woman your entire life and not get bored nor have the feeling that you need to seek someone else? This kind of relationship is rare. I want to read a comment that was given to that comment. It says, listen, man, you can only get 3 things from a woman. That's what it says. Number 1, sex. Number 2, domestic comfort, aka love, taking care of one another, making each other happy, etc. Right? And then number 3, children. He goes on, he says, if you lock down a girl in her early to mid-20s and made her yours, then she can provide those 3 things for you for the rest of your life. And that's how you can not get bored with one person. And believe me, if you go for another woman, you will only get those 3 things from her. And I cannot argue with that.
How does one make a woman theirs? Marriage? Sex? Branding like cattle? So, according to this TikTok, Elliot believes that women are interchangeable. If I was his wife, I would feel very uncomfortable right now because essentially if something happened to me, no need to waste time on sadness, or maybe a little bit of sadness, but in reality, he could just go out and find another woman to give him sex, domestic comforts, and more children. I have a feeling people are going to be like, he didn't say that, or if he did say that, he didn't mean it that way, but that's literally what the comment said. If you leave one woman for another, you'll find the exact same things, and he said, I cannot argue with that. So, according to Elliot, women are interchangeable. It's entirely possible he doesn't practice what he preaches, but this is what he's putting out publicly.
The world has tricked you, women.
Is he okay? He seems distraught.
Feminism doesn't work. Women aren't more happy because they're career women. Women aren't more happy because they have power over men. Women are on more depressed medications, pills, and therapy than they've ever been. Why? Because the natural order has been shirked and you've been given a bullshit lie to believe that working for a stranger at some corporation and calling him boss is more noble than serving your husband, serving your family. It was a trick.
I love how Elliot always assumes the boss is male, but then tells us that women have power over men now. Right. Anyway, so if you want to talk about antidepressants, let's also talk about Mommy's Little Helper. And also the fact that Americans as a whole are becoming more unhappy. I can't imagine why that would be. Anyway, so I just want to say that feminism is not a religion. It's not something that you think about that will give you like a deep sense of spiritual well-being. It's just belief that women, as well as men, should be able to take charge of their own lives instead of being told this is what will make you happy and fulfilled based on their sex. And it's still around because of men like Elliot.
Women know themselves through relationship. It's just natural. It's just normal. It's the way it's always been. It's not because of oppression. It's because of biology. Women are associators. They're egalitarian. They're relational oriented. So, to really get the most, max out of what you're built to do, find a husband, get married, make babies.
You heard it here, ladies. We know ourselves in relation to our husband. It doesn't matter if we're gay or asexual. We will only find true happiness and, in fact, ourselves once we're married and begin having babies, even if we never wanted kids. Well, that was a treat. I don't even have any words. I'm gonna link some sources below for some things I said because people always want me to have sources. So funny, they never demand sources from, Elliot, but, a woman speaks, she better have sources. Please like and subscribe if you would care to do so. Please feel free to leave a comment on what you think about Elliot's recommendations commands. Could be either one for women. And yeah, I will see you next week. Bye.